I'm Cody.
And
this is Elliot.
All right, so today we're going to be checking
Doggy.
and this is Doggy.
Okay. Yeah, we're going to be looking at some land and some mobile homes and kind of get the feel for some neighborhoods around the city and in different times to just get a feel for it
Hi.
and see if it's a potential future place we're going to live.
Right. In the future, we pretty much want to grow our own food as much as possible, maybe raise a few farm animals. And, land is a very pivotal part of that process. So we're going to go check out a couple of areas in the surrounding the city.
Yeah, surrounding towns around San Antonio.
And yeah, we probably would go for a house, but with the market the way it is,
It's too expensive.
right? we're weighing our options.
Yeah.
All right, so let's head on out.
Alrighty.
$95,000, 1.25 acres. This is the neighbors. Hold on, Adam. What do you think of that? Yeah.
So far, I like the way the area looks. It's just I wasn't a fan of that particular piece of land or the way the neighbors looked.
Yeah, the neighbors looked like they were almost a junkyard. There's all kinds of crap on their property. I wouldn't necessarily want to live next door to that.
No, the trailer on it looked like it would need to be hauled off immediately.
Right.
It didn't look like it was livable.
Probably need to be condemned.
Yeah. Yeah, for the price they were asking, it doesn't make sense to get that. But if we find another piece of land in the area for a decent price, I don't mind the area. It's a decent area that's pretty close to town.
Right.
Yeah.
All right, so we're on the next piece of property. It's property number 2.
I like it a lot better.
Yeah, it's a lot better, and the neighborhood seems a lot less, tacky.
A lot cleaner.
Okay, so this is the property here. It goes there, the road, and then there's like a fence here. And it goes back, and I'm assuming there's a fence back there, but it looks like to be some like leftover foundation or something where a house used to be.
Oh. Wow.
What do you think of the property, Autumn?
You like it here?
I like it here. Wow. Daddy.
As you walk up this little cement pathway, you can see that there seems to be a cement foundation underneath here, but there's like all this wood piled on top. I'm not sure, because you can see like there's part of it there, and then it's right here, and then it stops about like right here. I'm not sure if that would be enough to fit a single wide on or what was here before, but if it is big enough, that would be pouring the foundation is one of the most expensive parts of a build. So if this is already here and built, that would be beautiful. Oh wait, a lizard. A leaping lizard. Is that a good luck sign? This is the next piece of property we're looking at. And as you can see, the flag lined flags here, that's the border. This piece of land is all flat, not hardly any trees on it. It goes pretty far back though, and this would make it easier to like develop the land, get a house on it. And then also notice that the soil is kind of, I don't even know what you would call this soil, but it doesn't look like it'd be great for planting things. Only got like this one little tree on the property, or 2 trees. It's cheaper, but you know, you can see why it's cheaper.
Alright, I won't complain.
All right, we stopped at a local park in our little search. We're all just having a bite to eat. Well, I already ate some watermelon in the car. But they're having Mexican. It looks really good. Autumn, what you got to eat?
I eat sauce.
It's a little too far out, I think.
All right, so we're back home, and let's go over the properties a little bit, what we saw.
Yeah.
So the first property was that one in southern San Antonio. So the first one was that the house I was owning next to the Tractor Neighbors.
That's right. Yeah, that was, for what it was, that was way overpriced. It was next to a bunch, basically a junkyard neighbor.
Right.
And
We see.
the mobile home would have had to been torn off the property. It looked like it was in very bad shape.
Right. And there was very little trees, it seemed like.
Very-
It was just like on one side of the property.
Yeah, it was like a skinny rectangle too.
Yeah,
For $100,000,
not worth it.
that was not worth it.
Not worth it.
No.
1, 2, 3.
Even for half that would have been a bit of a stretch, just because of where it was, how it looked.
Yeah,
Yeah,
overvalued pretty much.
yeah.
Okay, so the second house, which was in Elmendorf,
Elmendorf.
turned out to be our favorite.
That one was nice. Yeah.
Yeah.
The neighborhood looked pretty decent. The piece of land was actually very nice looking. It had a good cover of the trees and open areas.
Right.
It had an old foundation on it that might be able to be reused for a new house, I'm assuming.
Right.
I think it was a little overvalued still, but it
But
was.
you could kind of at least
You
see
could kind
why.
of justify why it
Yeah.
was worth the asking price. Everything's so expensive, anyways. I think everything's overvalued right now.
Right.
But
Another good thing about that land was it was on a dead end. So
yeah, it was a
wouldn't
very
have to-
quiet street.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. So yeah, that was a top contender. And
For the
then
day, yeah.
the last one was in King. Well, the last two we didn't really like at all.
No. There was another one in Elmendorf we looked at.
Too flat, terrible soil,
That's
right
yeah,
on a busy street.
right next to the train track, so it'd be loud.
Right. Oh, that was the Kingsbury one.
Was it?
Yeah.
Oh no, they were both by train tracks.
Oh, okay.
The other one had train tracks behind it. You couldn't really see them, but
Oh, okay. That's why it was so cheap then.
yeah. And oh goodness, girl, let's sit down.
Yeah, that Kingsbury one, we didn't even really get to go on the land because it was gated, and I don't think we would want it anyways because it was like old oil field.
It was an old oil field lease road. That's why it was gated. So there
Right.
was old oil field property and wells on there scattered throughout.
And one of the big things we want to do with our land is garden, homestead, and if the soil is kind of damaged due to that, you know,
We don't want a polluted property or
Right.
potentially polluted property.
that's what we're trying to get away from.
Yeah.
Yeah, and all in all, we've been really trying to weigh our options about whether we want to get a home and some land, or if we want to maybe take a break and maybe RV and travel for a year.
Yeah.
But we've been kind of finding that at every turn financially, it's difficult.
It's expensive too.
Yeah, it's
It-
expensive.
Any route we go, even if we try and go cheap, it's still an expensive proposition
Right.
for us. If we went the RV route, we saw a $60,000 RV that we really like, brand new,
Right.
and I'm assuming a brand new truck or something relatively reliable that's like
to tow it with.
to tow it with is 30,000-40,000 in today's market. That's $100,000,
Right.
90 or 100. Yeah,
And
it's
then
expensive.
if you want to park anywhere, you got to pay a lot rent or
Yep.
rent a space.
Yep.
That's not very cost
So
efficient.
we're trying to get away from renting because that's just we're throwing away money towards something we don't even own.
Right. You put money in somebody else's pocket.
Yeah. And we're trying to find the best way we can do that in a relatively short amount of time. We don't want to be staying here for 5 years or whatever.
Right. One of the things we've been kind of talking about a lot is how it seems like there's no way to like almost cut corners or live relatively cheaply but still have a nice quality of life. Is that right? It seems like it's really hard to find any sort of situation where, hey, we're paying maybe $800 a month for our living expenses.
Yeah.
And not be breaking the bank. So we've been kind of weighing our options, and our lease in our current apartment that we're living in is up February of
Which is
2023.
That's like 6 or 7 months from now. So we got a little time to figure out where we're going, but we definitely want to figure out what direction we're heading so we can start to really prepare for that. But in the meantime, we're just waiting, hopefully for the prices to go down a little bit. I know the market's kind of going crazy right now.
Yeah, we kind of came to a very good realization that patience is going to be key in this market.
Yep.
Right now, if we were to buy a house, land, anything really, we'd be buying at the top, at the most expensive that it's going to be within the next 5 years.
When everyone's trying to buy.
Right.
Yeah.
We need to wait for the volatility to die down, for 10 people to not be fighting for one piece of dilapidated property. Instead of really focusing on property, we're going to focus on surrounding cities, visiting other towns surrounding San Antonio, seeing what areas we actually really like, so that when the market does die down, we'll know we want land in that city, that area, that whatever.
Yep, and keep our eyes really peeled for it, and in the meantime, just save up and try and be smart with our money.
Right. All right, so I think that's going to be the end of this video.
Yep.
Make sure to like, comment, share, and subscribe. And if you're currently looking at land or you know anything that might help us, go ahead and leave a suggestion in the comments.
Thank you, guys.
All right, peace.